Day two, take two on this recording.
We are here.
Don't even start it off like that. So we're trying out a new way to record audio. If it sounds a little funky, that would be the reason why.
Or if this never comes out, who knows?
Or if it sounds better, that would be the reason why.
Better, for being honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't trust these mics any longer, or whatever.
We'll just
bum Windows program we were using.
Recording separately and trying to nuke it through multiple
channels. Yeah, just a bad idea.
What do you want to talk about first?
Well, we're gonna get right into the Cincy game. So, the points to write home about that I have for this one, that everyone has the same feeling, is can't be not making subs. You simply can't be, especially when in the post game you admit to saying that the game was getting away from us in like the 70th minute, and then you don't make a sub to like the 83rd. Doesn't make sense to do that as a manager.
Right.
I'll just lay that out there.
And the subs have to be positive in the way that the game's going. Like, it looked like we needed a different center back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Chanot's on the ground 7 times within 7 minutes, like, hey, maybe you need to rest the guy.
Yeah. And I was going to say, it's sort of the same thing that we've been saying for the last 4 or 5 matchups is a result is a result. But that doesn't mean that we're happy with it just because it's 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want a more transparent manager that says, hey, or just stick with whatever you're going with. You know, if this is the type of football that you're trying to have us play, say that. Don't necessarily come at the fans.
Yeah,
that's all I'm asking for.
And then the other huge thing that has implications for the rest of our season is that Maxi got injured. So when we first recorded this, like we said, this is take 2. It was maybe a day or 2 after the game, and now we're like 2 days removed from that. Still no news on Maxi. I was just kind of searching up before we hit record here. No anything, no updates.
Yeah, he's probably going to be out for a while, and they just don't want to say it. I mean, it is what it is. Ronnie did his best to try to ice that injury and, give him minutes here and there to get him back and recover, but
maybe to start was just a little too soon, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but I think he needed to be back in the team, just the way that the games were going. We weren't getting any goal creation that really meant anything that mattered.
Yep.
And so we needed to put him in to get that spark.
Right.
Unfortunately, Heber's not really finishing anything right now, but
yeah, I think that was one of the major tangents that we went on that somehow got us to over 30 minutes in the last recording. But the whole thing with Heber is just continuing with the just lack of confidence completely. I'm trying to think of what we had to say that had taken up so much time, but it's just we got to get him going somehow. We have to get Heber going.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of it was about how he should be confident coming off last year.
Mm-hmm.
He should be confident and he should be banging in goals again. I'm not really sure what would have taken his confidence outside of a different type of management style, probably, because Torrent could get anybody to score a goal.
Right.
That man had goals pouring out of his body, whereas Ronnie does not. And I'll just leave that there.
Yeah. And one thing to talk about that we definitely got into with the last recording was who replaces Maxi and what is the best kind of lineup. And I remember us not meeting eye to eye because you feel strongly about Medina. Anybody that ever watches this podcast knows I don't rate him like that. But regardless of who is there, I think we kind of came to the consensus that no matter who it is, we kind of just have to lock that in and give them the minutes and the reps there, because otherwise, if it's the Medina experiment one game and then we're sliding ring from left wing to Cam now just because of Maxi's injury, just constantly switching up and having lineup turnover is never going to be a good thing for any team. So
yeah, and stop playing Medina in the wing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, he's not a winger.
Nobody's trying to make that work anymore. Play him at number 10. If you're going to play him at all, play him at number 10.
I will say I agree with that.
Yeah.
100% I agree with that.
If you're going to play him at number 10, I'd much rather have Gary and Shradi out on the wings than literally anybody else. And, if we're talking money-wise, then yeah, Matriza deserves a spot. But if you're talking about contribution or skill or anything, then he doesn't. He just simply doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
A big thing to the game that we're fans of is that Thor finally got his debut starting. That's huge because I think it was our last episode we literally talked about how Thor, I think it was in the tier list maybe, we were talking about how Thor deserves a spot or deserves a shot at least. But then after seeing that game that he played against Cincy, it's obvious that he deserves a spot too.
He deserves to be starting. I mean,
yeah, a spot in the 11.
It's hard to pick a left back with Margarita and Thor, but in my opinion, defensively, Thor's probably got the upper hand.
I would agree.
Probably he's not going to go toe tapping and against Toronto, but that was a little cheap shot.
I didn't know where you were coming with that one, and it took me a minute.
I wanted to throw a little cheap shot in there, but no, I mean Margarita's good. It's just I feel like him in the attack has dropped off so much. Like his quality in the attack has dropped off so much, with the exception of
the last game.
Yeah, which he played really well, but obviously it cost him something.
Yeah.
In him picking up an injury. I like what Thor has to offer, going both ways, but definitely I think we came to the conclusion we need to see more of him to really rate him.
And not, if Mats gets healthy, it's not to say that Thor just loses his spot. Like, I'm pretty sure whichever league Thor had come from, he was a defensive mid. Now, that's a whole different conversation, trying to fit Thor into the range of midfielders that we have. But it's worth, we know he deserves a starting spot. You have to find a spot for somebody, otherwise you're just kind of wasting the talent on the bench.
If Ronnie's ever tempted to go 5 in the back again, don't. Put our regular 4, throw Thor in the midfield somewhere and let him bomb up. If you really want to play wide and whatever, throw Thor in there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we get out of it. Is like we know we have another starter, and it's beyond just a rotation player. Like he's
start over Parks.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a few people that he can start over. And then it's with the Mott's thing, it's probably dependent on what type of game plan you have in store. Because like you said, Mott's has an attacking edge, Thor has a defensive edge. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you're looking for.
Dude, if you're ever tempted to start Matrita at left wing, just throw Thor up there. You're going to get the same output, but actually get defense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's like the inverse of what we saw with this Alex Ring experiment at left wing, is since he actually has the ability to track back, you see Mott's having the best half of his life.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to bolster the left side that everybody in the league thinks we don't care about.
Yeah, if you watch the first couple of games, there is the left side for NYCFC.
Yeah, no, and just literally complete, I want to say beginners, it's not really the right word, but people that don't watch our team will like hit us up after they have watched the game and be like, where is the left side of your team?
Yeah,
like it doesn't exist. Yeah,
it's funny. We are kind of relying a lot on Tennerholm with that right side. He backpacks the team with that right side.
He's been backpacking us. I think he just got team of the week again after that Cincy game. So it's like
he's the best right back in the league. It's that close.
I think one thing I just thought of that we left out from the last one was talking about, like, I don't even know if we did mention it. Maybe not. This might just be my brain. But, like, Gary MacKay Stevens is a good player.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he's absolutely good. So if you're Ronnie and you're having trouble putting Medina at cam because you're scared of who's going to fill in that right wing, which you shouldn't even play at right wing.
Dude,
Shradi, Gary.
And you got your team.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Mix up Heiber and Castellanos, which whoever you're playing that week, game plan for one of them.
Yeah.
And have the other one come on, get in the 60th, 70th minute.
One thing that I would like to see soon is Tati.
Starting.
Tati's, yep.
Because Heiber's not getting goals. Heiber needs to work his way into getting goals from the 70th minute with Castellanos starting.
Yeah, we have to see it worked. What was it, like a month ago? It worked. Hey Bear playing awful in the tournament. Ronnie ended up sitting him. I don't know, maybe to give him a little bit of perspective. Started Tati. That too. But and you see Tati starting, scores a goal, has like the most shots out of anyone on the team by a long shot.
Yeah.
He was really unlucky not to score, a total of 3 to 4. Yeah. So maybe it's time to give him a shout again, because I feel like he hasn't been getting the love that he deserves lately. We really haven't even seen him, but he didn't sub in Cincy, did he?
No, he did.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay. But, I mean, the subs were in the 83rd minute, so, 7 minutes of Tati is not respecting his class.
And it's not respected in the amount of heart he plays with at all, especially when your main man can't hit something that is literally the size of a garage door.
Yeah. Well, with the chances that he gets, that's what makes it surprising.
Yeah, well, no, it's also surprising because it's the size of a garage door.
Yeah, so.
It's hard to miss. If you drive a car into a garage door, it's hard to miss.
I think one thing that we joked about, maybe you won't say it was a joke last episode, was that Ronnie should just call you up to the squad.
Oh,
you were interested, you said.
I
you wanted to float. You wanted to float it out there that if they wanted to get a hold of you, you talked.
Saying I don't want to join the team.
Right.
Because I would be too deadly.
Too deadly.
But
okay.
I would go and teach some guys that score if they need to.
Okay. So more like you're like a Medi. You've retired. You're just here to.
I'm retired and I just want to coach. I
You're
just
here
want to
to
let people know how to score.
Yeah, to give the hand-me-down techers.
Correct.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So that probably wraps up everything about the New York game. Yeah, there wasn't too much to say.
Granted, with Hartford, there's even less to say.
That's the thing.
In the sense that it's not really much you can take from that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you guys saw the tweet. It shows how far off we are from other teams in the league.
Yep.
In the fact that if this was a normal season, we would probably be mid-table or pushing for like the top, the higher spots, but not necessarily in the top spot.
Yeah.
Like we thought we would be. Granted, with that, I would just say we need to change our expectations. I thought we were definitely going to win the league.
Yep.
Or whatever they have set up. But games against Pitt and that type of team makes me realize, like, hey, we still got a lot of work to do. Like, you could tell that it's a rebuild after games like that.
Yeah, definitely, especially after the second time now that we've played Pitt and it's been an identical result. I'm not sure. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what the issue might be, because at first we had fallen into the trap with the first 3-0 loss that it was just tired legs because they had gone on this run. But now with a second fixture against them showing, a worse game, honestly, it's proving it's more of a class. They're clearly a step above us in some type of way. Not to say I don't think we can't play to that level.
No,
I just think you just have to get the boys to play to that level somehow.
Yeah, and you don't. It was very clear when the team news came out that we were going to sit back and defend.
Right.
Like, you have 2 defensive mids, 5 in the back.
Yep.
Like, you're not really expecting goals from that. You're expecting to maybe squeak by with a 1-0, 1-1 draw. Like, you're not really shooting that high, and it just you don't want to see a team fall into that trap of playing down to people, or even having that small club mentality. You always want to go out and try to win. Especially you got a lot of attackers and a lot of talented people on that team that can go out and play their hearts out. So it was disappointing, but again, there's not much you can really take from it outside of Haak's performance was really good. I felt probably needs to pick his head up a little bit more, but he's good on possession. That's really all I could say.
Yeah, I think one thing that you also mentioned about it last time was that this is a formation we haven't seen since early in the season. It was obviously defensive minded, like you said. Like we came in I don't know, it's sort of weird to approach it like, oh, we lost 3-0 last time, so let's switch up the game plan and try to game plan for this team. Like in any sport, when you see a team play based on their opponent and not based on whatever their philosophy is,
It never goes well.
yeah, it never works. It doesn't work no matter if it's football, if it's, I don't even know, baseball, anything like that. It just doesn't work that way. So not too much to say about Hartford either, really. I mean,
I don't want to say too much because it's not like, in the case of, if I saw NYCFC lose tomorrow 5-0, it'd be a different response.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I necessarily care about them more. I mean, I truthfully do.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be because I saw a pattern of them not playing well, and then they get blown out 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the complete opposite with Hartford. Like, we've seen them play nothing but great football.
Yeah.
It's just one of those nights, one of those opponents that, maybe if we played them 10 times, we'd nick two wins.
Yeah.
Or two results.
And it's sort of the thing that upsets me most is not really the result. It was like the hype of having Haak go to the team, and it was like, all right, let's see what he can do. And I mean, fair play to him. He literally got man of the match. Looked decent as you could in a 5-0 loss. But it was like, I don't know, it was a little deflating not to see him kind of go and boss the game we thought he would.
Yeah,
because he didn't have much help, to be fair.
And there's a lot to do with the shape and everything.
Exactly,
It wasn't a game that you looked at and you go, oh, Hack's going to definitely have a great impact. It was kind of like, what are we doing? What are we doing with him? But anyways, I feel like we should wrap this up, go on to the next one.
Yep, so Hartford plays tomorrow night.
Yeah, possibly getting out there if there's tickets even.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember who they play.
Red Bull, too.
It is Red Bull, yeah. Yeah, we could potentially get out there. I don't know. It's another weird situation with work where it's kind of cutting it close. We'll have to check the temperature because today it was a reminder that we live in Connecticut.
Yeah, and a reminder that we need to get to warmer climates and just become plane ticket boys.
Get off to Texas.
Get on the ticket.
And whenever New York wants to come and visit Austin FC, we'll be at the game.
Yeah, or we can start infiltrating Austin FC.
That to me would be
from the inside.
The most fun. But either way, this is all
we're starting random again.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know who, maybe people like random. You never know.
So there's some people out there that would have to, but I don't know. That's a quick one. So, okay.
We'll see you boys later.
Goodbye.